Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And of course, good morning, mini Motorways. We are off to Tokyo for today's daily challenge, where destinations are more likely to be double destinations, but none of them will become circles. Let's bulldoze a tree with our very first action today and say that Sunflare's Space was here first. Good afternoon, Sunny. Hope you are doing well. I apologize for missing both streams yesterday. It turned out that the super early scheduled job started at 8, meant I had to be on the Zoom call at 7. It lasted until like 4:15. And by the time I got off the call at 4:15, I was wiped out because it was hot and I was tired and I wanted to be done. And then I did a stupid thing. So, let's talk. We're not going to talk much about the presidential debate that happened last night. I didn't watch it. Apparently, it didn't go well for President Biden. It turns out that some people are surprised to discover that Joe Biden has completely lost it and is the least basically competent person to hold the office of president since either Donald Trump or the last few years of Ronald Reagan's presidency. I don't know. I wasn't alive for Reagan. It turns out this is news to some people, which, okay. Anyway, so let's take this pink here. We'll run these two pinks into this. This is going to be fine up until the moment we get something here. I think eventually we're going to have to loop these blues up, over, and around like so. But, that's a problem for future. Oh, that's a problem for present me. Okay, well, honestly, the fact that that's blue just means that we can do this. Like, we can do this, and for right now, we can do this even. We'll probably, in the fullness of time, get another light blue up along here somewhere. But, yeah, we'll just go with, basically, what are these, Diva colors from Overwatch? It's not necessarily a deep cut, but getting to be an old reference for folks who, like me, played Overwatch basically when it was new and then stopped playing Overwatch for quite some time and then played Overwatch 2 basically when it was new and then stopped playing Overwatch because, well, Overwatch 2 was just Overwatch. Just was. But hey, there are new characters now. There are several. I think the last time I played Overwatch was before the Healy guy with the lift platform. Who's the Healy guy with the lift platform? People who play Overwatch, get in the comments and tell me who the Healy guy with the lift platform is. That guy. Just before that guy came out was the last time I meaningfully played Overwatch 2. Anyway, we're not here to discuss Overwatch 2. And yet we have. So, those of you who have seen the Goog cam, and just in general are aware of the underscore Goog, should know that the underscore Goog is what they like to call a giant economy-sized person. Without getting into specific numbers, because, well, the numbers are depressing, the underscore Goog is large, right? And recently, of late, I have endeavored to become less large. Generally seems like a good idea for the health, well-being, and continued existence of the underscore Goog, where at a certain point, and listen, let's take a motorway here. I'm going to say some mean things about myself. I am not intending to paint with a broad brush all of the broad people in the world. There are indeed a great many good, fine, noble, upstanding individuals in this world who could be considered large. And among them, I count some of my very best friends. At the same time, the underscore Goog is a large person and is endeavoring to be less large. So, over the past few weeks, I've, gone to various doctors, investigated various options, and basically started, actually getting serious about doing research, right? And in my research, I've discovered multiple times, many places have said these things, that for a person who is of a certain largeness, they need to consume X calories per day just to maintain, right? The body has a certain amount of calories that it burns just being a body. So if you consume X number of calories, that's the number that you need to consume to maintain a weight of large. A weight consistent with what the scales have been telling me, right? And if a person who weighs X wants to weigh less than that, they should consume, say, 500 calories less than that per day, right? Because anything like if you absolutely go from eating a bucket of calories a day to a very, very tiny amount of calories a day, that's bad, right? That's not good because the body's like, holy shit, what's going on? We're starving. We need to hoard all of the resources, and then the body doesn't burn any energy and nothing happens. That's not good. You don't want that. It is not, in fact, what you want. Instead, what you want is just fewer, right? You weigh X and you consume like 500 calories less than that per day. Fair enough. And multiple times to multiple medical providers, I have said, these are the words that I use, it's just math. I've even said that here on this channel, right? It's just math. And to my mind, at a certain point, it is indeed just math or physics. Calories in, calories out. One number go down, one other number go down. It makes sense. You probably see where I'm going with this already, but we're going to go there anyway. So over the past few weeks, in an effort to be less large, I have consumed a certain number of calories, which is 500 or so less than the stated maintenance level for a person of a certain largeness, right? And I have been very meticulous about this. I've got a little calorie counter app, and I've got a little kitchen scale, and I've been weighing and scanning and counting and adding and all of these things. And I'm mindful of the fact that I don't want to massively undershoot this number. It's like blackjack, not golf, right? So we're tracking and we're counting and we're consuming and we're eating, and it's all good and fine, and we're hitting the number, right? We're hitting the number, we're close to the number, we're not blowing past it, we're not having any super cheat days. I'm not doing, it doesn't matter if I have this slice of cheesecake because I walked 1/10 of a mile today. No, none of that bullshit garbage. There's a number, it's a limit, it's a cap. You hit the cap, you stop. Ideally, you come in just under the cap. And every single day for the last 2 weeks, I've been in under the cap, right? We're gonna move some of these pinks down here, over to here. Just to get this business to shut up for a minute. Ideally, I'd get another motorway or something, so I could use a motorway for these three instead of 2 bridges, but, early days, 2 bridges is going to be fine. Hey, look, a motorway! Hey, look, a motorway just like that. Let's reclaim those 2 bridges. Motorway number 2 slides in like so. These 2 bridges go away. And actually, now that I have 3 bridges, let's use one of these bridges pretty much immediately, because I don't want doot, and waboop. There. Let's just separate this purple from this beige so that we have different color roads going different colored places. That should be generally fine. Okay. You are, an interestingly placed yellow. And by interesting, I do mean bad, but, it's fine. Actually, you need to go out that way. We'll do this. Here. Boop, boop. We're going to draw a massive boop. Boop, boop. These yellows, these blues rather, will go into the west entrance of this plaza. These yellows will come into the eastern entrance, just like so. This should sort itself out and be generally speaking, fine, except for, well, not a huge fan of this nonsense. Hold on, when did this nonsense become nonsense? Huh. Okay, well, I mean, we can make an adjustment here. We can run these yellows like here, and then that'll free up these purples to down this way, and I could really use a few spare road tiles. I need, oh, hi. No, you can do that. That'll be fine. This is bad up here. I don't like this. Also, it's Saturday, so we probably don't need to freak out about this right now, or this right now. Either of these are not great, but okay. Let's just get through to Monday. Once we get through to Monday, we'll... Oh, gross. Okay. You go up that way. Actually, that's going to be okay for a day. Give me a motorway and 10 road tiles, and let's think about this. Okay. So, we've got this, right? Okay. Let's undo this whole purple road I just drew. Because now that this motorway exists, we can just take motorway number 3 and slide it like so. Additionally, I don't actually like having this be on a double plaza like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the yellow go down that way, and the purple, or the darker blue, look how similarly colored these two blues are. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna do this. This is a perfectly cromulent traffic light. So these yellows and blues over here will share this road. Yellows turn left with the light, blues go straight through. That should be fine. These 3 purples can service this business. That'll be totally cool. These 2 light blues are gonna have to share. I think that's the easiest thing to do right now. This is a doom situation eventually. Like, unless we get a few more light blue houses down this way, this is gonna be fucked. But, you know, it's not presently fucked. What is presently fuck? Come on. Okay, well, at least this came through here, so that's something. You can go in just like that. So the gray gets down this way. And then if we swing this way with the light blue, we can take this pink down like so into there. So we get a gray and a pink to take care of this situation. This is all weird and bad and dumb, but fullness of time and all that, we're gonna get these grays back. You come out like so, kill that. These 2 blues go in here. Okay. I think this is all basically fine. This pink business is a little bit underserved, but it should be all right. I think I just heard some lo-fi Overwatch music, which was cute, given that we spent the first hunk of the program dishing about Overwatch. All right. More yellows over here should be fine. This can point out that way. You can actually join this road. That'll be okay. All right. Are we good for a minute? I think we might be good for a minute. Give me another bridge. So I've been counting calories and, weighing foods on the kitchen scale and all that nonsense and consuming 500 less than the maintenance value recommended for, healthy, sustained weight loss, right? And 2 weeks ago, I weighed in, I got a new scale. And 2 weeks ago, I stepped on it for the first time and I weighed a certain number, right? And we're not using the certain number because this is an embarrassing enough conversation as it is. So 2 weeks ago, I weighed a certain number, and for the last week or so, my calorie counter app has been like, hey, you should weigh yourself. And I've been like, no, I don't want to. I want to weigh in every 2 weeks. I don't want to stress about this too much. If I weigh in every week, it's going to be stressful, and there are going to be weeks where I don't lose anything, and it's going to be frustrating, and I don't want that. I want to weigh in every 2 weeks and see measurable, visible progress, right? So I waited. 2 weeks after the initial weigh-in, I was like, okay, fine. It's time. I had this little phrase I was telling myself, payday, weigh day, right? Just because I get paid every other week, I happened to weigh myself on a payday for the first time, so it's like, I'll just weigh myself on payday. That makes sense. Make it easy to remember. All sorts of brilliant, simple logic at play here. Have you figured out where this is going yet? Because, boy. So, we got problems. Well, actually, these are solvable problems. They are problems, but they're solvable. Because, so the problem is this plaza is connected to this plaza, meaning that these grays could come through here, go through the plaza, and then down here. That's bad. Don't like it. The solution, incidentally, the solution to that problem is to sever this connection and then use these purples here to just swoop around this situation so that these purples service this business. Actually, I can do that and save a bridge. I can save a bridge. I'm a smart person. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to run the purples up this way. And then these grays are going to go in like so. So the grays come at this plaza from the south. The purples come at it from the north. This is a little bit awkward and weird, but it should generally be okay. Now, another problem is this gray business is now presently unserved. Not even underserved, just not being served. So, we can fix that problem with a motorway, actually. Because we take these two grays here, we draw motorway number 4. We do that. Now these two grays straight shot into this business. Should be fine for the moment. You're a gray, you go down that way. You're a gray, you go down that way. That should be fine. This pink is starting to get mad. Hey, look, a pink! I was just going to say we needed a pink, and hey, look, we got us a pink. We got a pink, we got a pink, etc. All right, you come up this way, go in here. We'll service this business, should be fine. Everybody go. Are we in everybody go? I think we're in everybody go. Okay, everybody go. I was going to say that if this business wanted to go circular, that would just be fine. And listen, if it did go circular, that would be fine. But it's small town charm today. There's nobody going circular. So everything's going to be fine, which is good. You go up that way. We'll get a third gray to here along with a third gray going over to here. Should be good. Everybody's looking basically okay. I'm a little bit concerned about the situation with, still these light blues, actually. Still these light blues are not great. You know what? We can do this and get, draw the road straight, Goog. There you go. That'll get a 4th light blue house involved here. Still not ideal, but should be okay. Give me a 2nd and 3rd traffic light just so I feel a little bit better about my traffic light situation. Probably won't wind up needing it, but if we do, we've got it. Okay. So 2 weeks go by, and I'm thinking to myself, this has been frustrating, but I've been doing the thing. I haven't been getting delivery much. When I did get delivery, I was very careful to portion it properly and check the websites and make sure that I wasn't breaking the limit and keeping track and counting every calorie and weighing every food. And you know what? This is frustrating and annoying, and I very much want some fried chicken and potato wedges, but it's all gonna be worth it. Because, and I realized, I didn't expect, obviously I didn't feel like I dropped 50 pounds. I haven't lost 4 inches off my waistline or 2 weeks or nothing. But, I kind of figured, hey, we're gonna do the thing. We're gonna payday, weigh day, and every 2 weeks we're gonna see a number go down just a tiny little bit, right? You come in, weigh an X, and then in 2 weeks you weigh like X minus 2, X minus 5 maybe, right? So I step on the scale, and I wound up confirming this measurement 3 times. Over the last 2 weeks, doing the most intense calorie counting I've ever done in my entire life, and maintaining a calorie deficit which is in line with everything that every fucking website says should be done, I've gained 10 pounds. Now, there are several potential explanations for this, which range from I have a high sodium diet and I'm retaining fluid, to there is a massive conspiracy to undercount and underreport the calorie content on every packaged food in society. These things are equally plausible to me. It is, as one might suspect, frustrating. I am, as one might suspect, frustrated. We're going to take these two light blues. I'm going to try to separate these because these light blue businesses are getting a little angry about stuff. So we're going to have these two come in here and these three go up that way. And hopefully that'll sort itself out. We'll kind of have something that vaguely resembles 1B, 1R. Yeah. It could be that, just going down to 500 below the maintenance level has triggered my body to say, oh God, we're dying. Also, speaking of dying, you remember that business thing that I said would save all the business thing? Yeah, no, it turns out it didn't. Turns out 1,795 is just the number we put up today. So it could be that the body is like, oh no, we're dying, despite the hefty fella number of calories being consumed by the _Goog in a day. Drop those ghosties in the chat based on a very good run for Parlor Ghost. Also, by default, Sam didn't put up a score, so I get to drop the GGs. Haha, take that, Sam. Good job, Parlor Ghost. 14th in the world. Well done. Let us bring in our very good friend, the Wordle. Hello, the Wordle. If the Wordle today is hefty, I don't know. It's not. Good. So it could be that the high sodium diet is causing fluid retention. It could be that at the large numbers of the _Goog, there are things like, time of day variance that would account for a number being one number at one time and then 10 pounds bigger than that number 2 weeks later after what's supposed to be a weight loss diet. That seems unlikely, but it could just be that every single food product on the market contains 20% more calories than it claims to contain, and everyone's in on it. Now, it should be noted that when I say everyone, I really only mean like 7 companies, because there really only are like 7 companies that control 90% of the food that we get at a grocery store. That's just a true fact. That sounds like, paranoid conspiracy theory ranting. No, that's just a true fact. That's just America. But I digress. It could be place. Could absolutely be place, aside from the fact that it's not place. But now we know that the E is the last letter, so that's good. It could be s'more. Could absolutely be s'more, aside from the fact that it wasn't s'more. But in the moment, it could have been s'more. So, it could be... Can't be probe, because there's no P. It could be drone. Could be drone. There we go. Well, could be drove. Past tense of drive. Perfectly cromulent word. Hey! We got the Wordle, eventually. Good job, the Wordle. A perfectly fine little word. Let's draw some connections. Let's get briefly angry at the New York Times, and then we'll play Strands and be less angry at the New York Times, and then we'll read their political coverage and go back to being angry at the New York Times. Anyway, so, Something can be brief and short and prompt and... Nope. I thought it was just going to be like quick, to the point, concise. Doesn't appear to be the case. Someone could get a brief and a short, though, which is like a summary. Sunny has correctly identified a difference connection here. We've got messenger, clutch, tote, and satchel. Satchel? Satchel! Those are bags. Those are absolutely bags. We could have license or freedom or latitude or slack. These are all, permission, wiggle room, that sort of thing. Wiggle room, haha! You could have a signal, a cue, a prompt, or wait for the word, it's either word or brief, right? Because these are like triggers. These are actions. I think it's word, right? That's the word. That sort of thing. There you go. Indication to proceed. Okay. So, boxer, drawer, brief, and short. These are all just words for underpants. Underwear in the singular. Okay. All right. Well done, connections. You weren't infuriating today. You feeling okay? Today's Strands theme is That's My Jam. All right, well, given that I see the word jazz right here, I suspect that we're doing some music today. And here's blues and salsa. So yeah, these are just musical genres. All right, well, let's see if we can get all of them without finding the spangram. There's country, or without stumbling onto the spangram. There's disco right here. This up here in the top right corner is soul. And there are two more and then the spangram. All right, well, here right here is music genre. So we've got that, which means that rock and, nope, I said, R-O-C-K. Good job, Goog. Rock and, where's the F? Folk. There we go. And then we just boop, 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 boop over here. I like the shaping of the spangrams. That's a cute little artistic touch. Like this right here, this is a rest. They just, like imagine if you were reading along a staff on sheet music, that sort of thing. Fill this in. This is a rest. Good job. Well done. Golf claps for the New York Times. Well done. Now, for today's Immaculate Grid. So we fly through this episode, which is good because I do have a hard out. I have to be on a Zoom call at 8. So, we need Twins, Red Sox, Guardians, Mets, dudes what pitched, and dudes what caught. Well, a Red Sox player who played for the New York Mets is, of course, Pedro Martinez. Come on now. Red Sox player who pitched. I mean, I can name 27 obscure Red Sox pitchers and probably 2 or 3 position players who pitched for the Red Sox. Let's go with Mark Malaska. There's a deep cut. Mystery Malaska. Guy had a left-handed relief pitcher, had a decent start to his career, and then turned out to be pretty crummy and got hurt all the time. Just repeated that all over the place. Red Sox player who played for the Guardians. I mean, you've got David Ross. Coco Crisp fits that top left corner. I'm pretty sure Andy Marte fills that top left corner. But I'm not 100% sure he was with the Red Sox. I know he was a Guardians guy. I think he was a Red Sox player. And then he went to the Guardians. But we're going to play it a little bit safer than that. And of course, when I say a little bit safer than that, I mean a late 90s, early 2000s utility infielder who went on to become a sports talk radio fixture in New England. Lou Merlone. Just play it safe with that top left corner. Now then, a dude who played for the Twins and the Guardians most famously is Jim Thom. I think Justin Masterson. Justin Masterson would have fit this one. I think he pitched for the Twins, didn't he? Am I making that up? Actually, I think I am making that up. I'm not 100% sure that Justin Masterson played for the Twins. We're going to go all the way back to the safe layup option and just say that it's James Howard Thom. There you go. Dude who played for the Twins and the Mets. Was Alejandro De Aza a Twin? I don't think so. Why do I... Well, the reason I go to Alejandro De Aza when I want an obscure Met is because of a Mets podcast I listen to. They have a running joke about Alejandro De Aza. Anyway. Met and a Twin. I mean, Johan Santana is right there. Threw a no-hitter for the Mets. Generally considered a fairly decent pitcher. One could suggest such a thing. A Minnesota Twin who pitched. We're going to go with Rick Aguilera, closer for the early mid-90s Twins. Once traded to the Red Sox when the Red Sox were in Minnesota. That was funny. A Met who caught is Luis Torrens. He was on the Mets for an hour and a half. He might presently be on the Mets, actually. He is presently on the Mets, come to think of it. A dude who caught and pitched. Interesting. I don't think Jorge Posada ever pitched in a game. I don't think Joe Mauer ever pitched in a game. David Ross pitch? Maybe. Josh Tolley's the kind of guy who would have been a position player pitcher. I don't think Doug Mirabelli ever pitched. I don't think Josh Bard ever pitched. Jason Varitek never pitched. He was good. Yeah, if you're going to be a catcher and pitch, it's got to be like a very specific kind of guy. Like, because the position player who pitches is usually the fifth outfielder, the backup infielder, or some guy who randomly throws 90. But to be a catcher and pitch, like you're not going to put your Jose Molina types on the mound. They just don't do that. Actually, I say that, but Willians Astudillo pitched, didn't he? I think Willians Astudillo pitched. I'm not making that up, am I? I am, in fact, not making that up. Good job, the underscore Goog. I was trying to talk myself into like Jeff Mathis, who probably has pitched at some point in his career. Was wondering if Brock Holt had ever spent an inning behind the plate. I don't think he has. All right, so a couple of fairly easy ones left. We need a Cleveland Guardian who caught. Sandy Alomar Jr. There's David Ross. There's probably other guys who vaguely fit the square. Could be nice if I could think of the guy who's the starting catcher for the Guardians now, but oh, I know. I can think of a player who's from Brazil. Yan Gomes. Did you know that Yan Gomes is from Brazil? Yeah, there was a season of MLB The Show. I think it was 2019, where there was one fact about Yan Gomes that got mentioned every time he came up to bat, and it is that Yan Gomes is from Brazil. So, heard a lot about how Yan Gomes is from Brazil. He's also, incidentally, a former Cleveland Guardian. Good for you, Yan Gomes. Oh, can I think of anyone slightly more obscure maybe than Johan Santana for the center square? I mean, I want to do an Immaculate Grid, but I also want a good rarity score. Like, look at this. Okay. I've kind of butchered the rarity score with the Tomei and the Martinez. Okay, fine. All right, you know what? We're not going to hit a good one. Johan Santana. There. Acid Immaculate Grid. Man, you take out the layups, right? We hit Pedro because we always hit Pedro, and then who the fuck can name some actual Minnesota Twins? 0.4 Malu Maloney, 0.04 for Mark Malaska. Good job, the underscore Goog. What did people actually say? People actually said, Manny Ramirez, okay, mildly important. And then there are so many Red Sox pitchers. This is kind of nice. This is like You know what this is, this Tim Wakefield square? This is Red Sox fans being like, who's my favorite pitcher I can think of right now? And they went to Tim Wakefield. And then the rest of the field was just like, let's think of a guy. And there are a lot of guys. Listen, there are a lot of guys. Oh, God. This is an Immaculate Grid. This has been an episode of Good Morning Mini Motorways. Folks, next week's schedule is all sorts of up in the air. I don't even have the little schedule blurb thing made. I think we're looking at Tuesday evening Baldur's Gate 3, Wednesday morning Gimmimimim, Friday morning Gimmimimim, and then Subathon 8 starts on Saturday, July 6th. I think that's the plan. There is no Gimmimimim on Monday because I will be driving back from New York after going to AEW Forbidden Door this weekend. There is no Gimmimimim on Tuesday because I have an early morning in-person assignment in Connecticut. So no Monday, Tuesday stream. Tuesday evening we should be good. Wednesday morning we should be good. Thursday is the 4th of July, so I'm going to take the excuse to sleep in and not do a stream. And I would say that the subathon starts on the 4th of July, but technically I do have to be available for work on Friday the 5th. Like, nothing's gonna happen, but something could happen. You know. Anyone who's ever been on call has been in situations like this where nothing's gonna happen, but something could happen. So it's looking like we will see you Tuesday evening for Baldur's Gate 3, and the next time for Good Morning Mini Motorways is Wednesday, July 3rd. Until then, thank y'all as always for watching. Have a wonderful several days, and goodbye.